Hey, what's up? Alex here. It's been a while. I moved on from WoW. Probably not gonna play the expansion, but I decided to play this league. Wasn't gonna go hard into it, but the systems they're introducing are actually kind of interesting. So, um, just for the sake of documenting my progress throughout this league, I've decided to make this video about my build. Um, if you wanna, probably don't know me. I'm like a nobody. And whatever I've done in the past probably doesn't matter. Like the builds I've done. But real quick, I've done Champion LS, Champion Molten Strike in Sentinel. Um, Toxic Rain last season on Pathfinder. I've done Spark Trickster, Arc Trickster, Stormbrand, Elementalist, and Sanctum. Or it was an Ancestor, but I did it for a Sanctum build. So for the first time, I'm trying a slam build, but not exactly like the slam builds you've been seeing around. I've been looking around. Haven't really seen anything like what I've done. Um, so I'm gonna go right into it. Again, I'm just a nobody deciding to document my shit. Um, so real quick, this build, the idea is purely to target farm sims this season. You've probably seen this build before. Some Cass Winston stuff or body swap. I think Jungron did a body swap. Just to farm sims with this. Pretty powerful, pretty tanky. Uh, the idea of the build was to scale the ignite and the fire hit while still scaling the main hit as much as I can for ignite, so clear doesn't feel too bad. Like you're not just fishing for Hinekora's explosion. So there it is. Not super budget friendly. Real quick, these items. Again, just to preface this build, not tested. I have not tried it in game. I have not tried it at all. I've never tried it. Never tried these skills. First time playing Tectonic Slam. This is not proven. This is not tested. So I'm not expecting anyone to try this. I made this for me to try it out to test it. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna move on to something else. Pretty powerful ascendancy. Can go Juggernaut with endurance charge stacking because they're powerful now, or just go Slam Zerker. We'll see. Yeah, so these items, unrealistic probably for a league start, but very realistic for week one. Uh, this weapon, probably not easy to craft. It's double, triple T1, one of them being dot multi. But with recombinators, it might be easier to make. Maybe Essence instead of T1 Fizz, and then Recom Essence until one of the two other mods, and then Recom. So it shouldn't be too hard to make with multi-mod. These are two crafted mods, not three. This is the enchant. I'm expecting this enchant to be super expensive, so I went right in the middle. So 2 tries should get you on average, uh, 42, 45%. You're lucky, I guess. This enchant really is super good because we're ignite with Avatar Fire. Um, multiple T1s. This is not too hard. Enter T2s. This is not too hard. It looks pretty good, but this is not too hard to craft. The main mods are Int Essence and 2 Chaos Res, probably, until as close as I can to T1 life, and then armor mods shouldn't be too hard with Eldritch Currency if I can help it. I left the Fizz Taken Eyes here on this item because it's gonna be on chest. So whatever, if I can instead use a chest with a better version of this mod, I would probably do that instead of Cloak of Flames. But I left it here for now. It's not that big of a deal anyway, so I figured I'd leave it. This solves my int. This one item. Cloak of Flames budget version, but there's not really anything that comes close to it for sustain. But other versions of the chest, or if I want to go suppress, I'm gonna have to move on to rares. Um, but just a really good chest for Chieftain, mainly because of this. It gives me a bunch of res. Legacy of Fury should be super cheap early league. It's like 50% chance to drop off Maven. Like I feel like I always get that drop when I do it. Very good amulet. This one probably not realistic. This is tier 1 life with tier 2 multi. This fixes my attributes and chaos res, and armor is not necessary. I could even remove it if I wanted, but I'm just gonna leave it. Crafted area damage, area of effect. Prolif devastation comes from the, I don't remember the boss's name. It's the Exarch mini boss. Not that rare, but it will be sought after, I think. So Vermilion Ring with 3 mods, I think. Let's see. Max life, chaos res, increased fire damage. This doesn't really matter. It's not that good. I could probably fix my attributes here and add a res. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive either. Ooh, I'm gonna fix this. This is not necessary anymore. On the ring, you probably want probably flat damage. Diadandon, pretty common item. Flasks. The jewels, so 3 mod, so like 3 divines, maybe 4 divines, 5 divines. Early league might be easy to make. We'll see. I put this as a. This is a super good jewel, so I really want to get it in time. And we don't know how rare it is going to be, especially for fire. And every RF build is going to use it, but I feel like armor might be more popular, and ES maybe. So I think fire is not going to be that expensive considering, or chaos res. All better option I think for the meta builds. So hopefully this is not too expensive. I'm hoping 10, 15 divs. Like I said, week 1 build. Super good medium cluster. This gives us onslaught because our infernal cry is whoops, 4-second cooldown, 4.026. So 250 milliseconds downtime, which is fine. And armor per power, which is pretty good. And then our other cluster is for Fend the Flames. Early game, it's easier than the gloves implicit from Exarch. And then Cooked Alive because I needed a little bit more chance to ignite, and that second line is really good in general. Um, Crimson Jewel, it's the same as the other one, but instead of burning damage, I put some dex to fix my stats. And our big cluster is super good. You get Overlord for Fortify. I don't know how big my Fortify is going to be because my hit damage isn't that high, but I'm hoping at least 10. And then there's just a good second node. Nothing else to use there. So these items, not super realistic for like first few days, but by week 1 it should all be there. And it's like the first version, pre mageblood. We'll see. The build is Tectonic Slam Ignite. So the skill itself doesn't matter. Obviously with scaling Hinekora's. I could have used Volcanic Fissure with sneaking. Um, but this is multi-hit. It's not nearly as strong as Tectonic Slam, like 200% less base damage. And all we do is fish for a big ignite for Hinekora anyway, so you can see here the hit damage is almost half. So ignite's like super low compared to Tectonic Slam. Um, I went through a lot of stuff here to maximize the damage output. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this. 2.2 mil doesn't look that great for ignite damage, but it is passive damage. So 2.2 mil I feel like would be enough to kill Ubers, which is almost a mil Uber DPS. But I'm probably not even going to try. I'm going to make a second build for that stuff. Probably Molten Strike. We'll see. The point of this build is really just to get started from simulacrums for money. And from there, I'll probably figure it out. But for the sake of documenting my progress, I wanted to at least showcase this. or show this showcase tomorrow, which I'll probably stream. So Tectonic Slam, Awaken Swiftness, or Awaken Swift Affliction, Burning Damage, Wed. So Bloodthirst and Cruelty. Cruelty to increase the hit damage for Fortify and Chill, which is a little boost to defense. Bloodthirst is an interesting choice. I opted for Bloodthirst because initially I didn't have a lot of damage, but everything I tried to replace it with was not good enough. So I went for all 6 life masteries for the more maximum life, and then I went for Blood Magic. So this version has a little under 7k HP. I had a little more previously, but I give up some of it for utility and a little bit of damage. Initially, this build was staves, but I don't think we'll get this enchant on staves. This it would be really good. This would be incredible, but I don't think we'll get it. I do think it's only 2-hand maze. We'll see what other enchants there are for Ignite, but with Avatar Fire, this one's pretty hard to beat. Um, Other than that, it's Purifier on Eternal Blessing because we are Blood Magic. We don't want to reserve too much. We have Petrified Blood, and then Auto Exert Infernal Cry with Hex Touch or two curses, and then Combustion. This is defensive curses if I need it, but I figured I didn't, so I stick to the 2 offensive ones. And then Leap Slam faster attacks, Enduring Cry that I self cast, and for Endurance Charge, and then just utility. This is ticked off, not in the config. The defenses are worrying me a little bit, which is why I wouldn't ever probably recommend this to anyone. I really wanted to go staves for block to make this a lot better, because if you had block, like that solves pretty much everything. Change to block attacks. And then spells. This just becomes a good build. Uh, the damage will be a lot lower. I think maybe 30% of the damage I would lose, but then I get to go staff block. Or if I can go one hand maze maybe with the enchant, if it works, and then the new shield, which is pretty insane, and that shield's gonna be super expensive with the chance of luck is lucky. So the build's fairly optimized, I think. I've spent a lot of time like cooking this one. I don't even know if it's gonna work. I wish I did. We'll see tomorrow. How the progression's gonna feel. Probably gonna go staves early for defenses because I won't have the ancient for a while anyway. It's looking like a really expensive one. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There are a lot of options. I went for endurance charge stacking because I felt like these were way too low. Remove this before I hate someone. Yeah, overall this build looking pretty solid. I can't showcase any kind of gameplay. I don't really want to anyway. This is not a build guide. This is purely for the future. I'll put the POB in the video description. Just if anyone want to see what I have to offer here, but I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, especially because of the weapon. We'll see if I can find an alternative to this. Obviously, the enchant is all I really care about. And the mageblood swap is very good for defenses, but unfortunately, this is really good for damage over time. So yeah, 12 mil and Simi should be enough from the Hinokoras. So yeah, sorry for the quality of the video. I just decided to do this on a whim, just to make sure everything was out there. I'll publish it, but again, not a guide. Don't do this. This is gonna be trash. Yeah. I hope you guys have a good league start, and I'll probably see you tomorrow, which is 26th. Have a good one, guys.